my name is Paul Lemmens. I'm with Philips Innovation and Strategy, and this is a part of Philips where we provide innovative solutions around data and AI for other parts of Philips. For instance, our businesses like precision diagnostics or personal health. As a data and AI scientist, I contribute to many projects within Philips next to my work in AEQUITAS, but for AEQUITAS, I'm the Work Package 7 contact and coordinator. Work Package 7 is one of the AEQUITAS work packages, and our main objective is to create a piece of software that can generate data out of the blue. Data, of course, is important for any AI system because we need to have data to train the AI algorithm. And synthetic data, which is what we create, can help in that because sometimes there's too little data available to properly train an algorithm. And with our piece of software, we can create additional data. So the use cases that the AEQUITAS consortium has as carriers for the work that we do cover three pairs of domains. There is one domain from healthcare, there is a domain about human resources and recruitment, and there is a societal domain. And within each domain, we have two use cases. So for instance, Philips is use case owner for one of the healthcare use cases, in which we look at ECG data, EKG also sometimes called, so heartbeats on a time axis. And for us, that's really important, for Philips, that's really important because, of course, many of the devices that we sell on the market to hospitals need to have software in there that helps clinicians in interpreting EKG signals. For AEQUITAS, these, and also especially for Work Package 7, these use cases are important because they provide a context and background information to drive the development of our synthetic software generator. That context is important because, as I said, when you can create data out of the blue, you never know whether it's proper data and whether it's useful for the overall goal of the consortium or useful for a particular use case. And the use case gives us information and grounds to test the software and the data that it produces. Synthetic data is data that is created from scratch. So, as I said, data is important for AI, and in this time we live in the data era because we create data by every interaction with a device these days that we handle. That data can be used for an AI algorithm, but sometimes there's shortage of data, and sometimes, much more important in this case, there is something called bias in data. And bias is an important topic because it can create unfair AI solutions. Why is that? That is because biases is something that we as humans have in our system ingrained. Essentially, they're mental shortcuts to give us an easy way to make a decision or to determine a specific route. So one such mental shortcut is, for instance, that the familiar is more favorable. You know which food you like, so you tend to go to a restaurant that serves that food. That makes the decision easier. However, many other biases that we humans have result in negative effects for other humans. So we may decide against a loan for a certain individual or group of individuals, despite that they're reliable and trustworthy people. That's a bias that we want to prevent. Now, the problem with bias is that because we create the data as humans, and that data that we create are being used to train the algorithm will learn our bias, and that's something that we want to prevent. Synthetic data can help in that respect, because once you know that the data set is biased by calculating some kind of score, then synthetic data can be used to complement, enhance, make the data set bigger, and in this way make sure that all population subgroups are represented equally. So AEQUITAS as eventual total solution is a tool set that will create what we call playground for AI scientists or researchers. And in that playground, they can test or develop AI solutions. Synthetic data is an important part there because, as I said, we need data to train. So we can use a synthetic data generator to expand or create data from scratch to train an algorithm on. On the other hand, when there is an existing algorithm that's maybe already on the market or has been developed, we can use synthetic data to determine whether that algorithm is sensitive to bias by creating deliberately polarized data, so data that is judgmental against a particular group of individuals in your data set. If the algorithm is sensitive to bias, it will create outcomes that are unfavorable for those individuals. And again, you can calculate scores that will tell you whether this is happening. So synthetic data and the synthetic data generator is in sort of a core part of the AEQUITAS playground that helps researchers and scientists to determine whether systems are vulnerable to bias or to make sure that systems are developed from the ground up by fair by design. So the data synthesizer that we're building is simply a piece of Python software. And that software will be able to create data from scratch based on a particular configuration. Philips is contributing a part of the data synthesizer that is more geared towards tabular data, so text data. Our partners at the University of Bologna are creating a synthesizer for image data. Both of them are based on the use cases, and in our case we're working on, for instance, a use case around human resources or recruitment, and our partners at the University of Bologna are looking into the healthcare use case where they're addressing dermatology images. So Work Package 7 is integral to AEQUITAS as a whole consortium. So I think AEQUITAS as an all-encompassing solution that helps researchers and AI scientists to develop fair by design AI systems or test existing systems. I think the future is really clear and present as AI and its effects, and especially negative effects on people and groups, are very clear in the media, and we need to deal with that. And I think AEQUITAS will be one way to tackle the problems with existing AI systems, as well as make sure that future AI systems are designed fair from the start.